my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. And we have a lot to talk about. First off, ladies and gentlemen, we have something of profound significance, something that the Obama administration never got close to achieving. We have the beginning of peace between North and South Korea. We have a situation where possibly the Korean War can actually be over officially. And President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize to get peace talks underway and this far. Hillary Clinton, according to her own words, two bankers stated that she wanted to, she threatened to ring China with missile defense. Ring China with missile defense. That's what she stated. And the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at foreign policy, Trump's foreign policy is a good foreign policy. He has a foreign policy that is leading to peace between North and South Korea, a foreign policy that is achieving things other presidents couldn't even have dreamt of. That's not hyperbole. It's the truth. And they're focusing only on Michael Cohen. Why? Why do you think the media and Democrats are obsessed with Michael Cohen? He actually debunked Trump Russia. But why do you think media, and to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Why do you think media is obsessed? Obsessed. They're obsessed with Michael Cohen. Why? Why? Press 1. Press 1 if you think it's because they want to simply take focus away from monumental peace talks. Monumental peace talks. Press 1. Is this mic on? Press 1. If this is just a smoke, exactly. Yes. Yes. Look, ladies and gentlemen, very soon we're going to have the Senate with Lindsey Graham investigating Clinton's emails yet again. We're going to have William Barr investigating FBI Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, the lovers. And they're going to flip the script. They have to, because there's actually evidence. There's actually evidence that Clinton committed crimes. There's evidence that she transferred top secret intelligence. These aren't my words. These are James Comey's words. James Comey's words, ladies and gentlemen. These are James Comey's own words. And all you have is, did you hear what Michael Cohen said? Well, he debunked Trump Russia. BuzzFeed stated that he was in Prague. Why? Because if you read, go ahead and, if you're bored, read the Steele dossier. It is the biggest bunch of nonsense. It makes categorical claims that aren't true. Categorical claims that are not true. That are complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. Like he met with Prawn D, thank you. That he met with Russian officials. Prawn D, thank you. He met with Russian officials to develop this giant plot to undermine Hillary Clinton. It's the most nonsensical, irrational, completely irrational nonsense. And that was actually used by the FBI, to start investigations into Trump, into the Trump campaign. It's complete nonsense. So I'll just read right here. This is, okay, after a day of compliments, Trump and Kim Jong-un will negotiate face-to-face. This is what people should be focused on. They're not. This is what people should be focused on. They're not focused on this. After exchanging praise over dinner, President Trump was expected to open a day of formal talks with Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, on Thursday with a one-on-one session aimed at once again trying to put the North on schedule for dismantling its nuclear weapons program. A ceremony to sign a joint agreement between the two leaders was scheduled to take place in the afternoon, raising expectations for a diplomatic breakthrough that could include steps to declare a permanent peace on the divided Korean Peninsula and build a new relationship with a country that has been a bitter adversary of the United States for nearly 70 years. But what about Michael Cohen? He's going to prison. And he said Trump said bad things. Trump said bad things, everybody. Can you believe the world that we live in? The world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. The media that is obsessed with nonsense. The media that's obsessed with absolute nonsense. We have a president who's presiding over the beginning of peace, actual peace between North and South Korea, between the U.S. and North Korea. This is unbelievable. This is fantastic. This is amazing. And instead of focusing on this, instead of saying, wow, this is pretty awesome, this is pretty amazing, instead of the media saying, well, you know what does this mean for the world? We're so much safer because of this. That's one less nation that could threaten us in terms of a nuclear catastrophe. That is one of the when Bush talked about the axis of evil, okay, which was very much a propaganda ploy. But that is just one of the major quote unquote threats or adversaries that now is no longer a danger in terms of the U.S. and North Korea, engaging in a horrific military quagmire. And instead of focusing on that, instead of looking at that, they can't give him credit. This is something that no other president has come close to achieving. And instead of focusing on that, they care only about Michael Cohen. The guy is going to prison. He literally helped Trump today by debunking the Russian narrative. The guy debunked Trump Russia. The guy literally just debunked Trump Russia. He said that he was never in Prague. He said that he had never been. There was no evidence of Trump Russia. And then all the other things like, oh yeah, he told me 500 different times to to hurt people. It's like, well, why didn't you say anything? I mean, why on earth didn't you say anything? Why did you keep? I mean, what does this say about Michael Cohen if he keeps working for a guy he knows this racist monster? I don't want to surround myself with people like that. Unless maybe he's lying and he sold his soul to the Democratic Party simply to ensure that he has a reduced prison sentence for all the crimes he actually did commit. Manafort and Cohen committed crimes that have nothing to do with Trump Russia. None of these things, none of these issues have anything to do with Trump Russia. Trump did not collude with Russia, but literally millions of people on the left who think they're so smart believe that Russia and WikiLeaks and Trump worked to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated. But by the way, Bernie Sanders was given every opportunity to win, and he just didn't win. So which one is it? We don't know. We have no clue. They just Their thing is whatever they want, to perpetuate at that moment, whatever makes them feel good, they'll go ahead and perpetuate. Whatever they want, whatever makes them feel good. So this is a great, great article in the Federalist, a really great article. 6 things we learned from Michael Cohen's testimony today. Cohen destroys key element of key dossier. He was never in the Czech Republic. Cohen says Trump did not direct him to lie under oath. Well, there you go. That refutes BuzzFeed. Mr. Trump did not directly tell me to lie to Congress. That's not how he operates. Cohen went on to say that he believes Trump made clear that he wanted Cohen to lie through his tone and body language. My God. We have 20% of U.S. uranium capacity sold to Putin from Democrats, and they're like, oh my God, look at Michael Cohen, look at Facebook ads, look at Twitter, look at the Russian hacking, which never happened to the DNC. We're living in idiocracy, and it's the left. The people who think they're the smartest are actually the biggest imbeciles and clowns. They focus on nonsense that they've made up. What they do is they make up nonsense. They focus only on semantics. Their life is trying to tear down and destroy first people on the left, mainly people on the left. Then they pretend to just mock or make fun of conservatives, but conservatives don't care. So it's like this constant machine, this like psychological game they play. And then you have like people, they're not talking about a monumental. Let me just read this again from the New York Times. This is a monumental achievement. A ceremony to sign a joint agreement between the leaders was scheduled to take place in the afternoon, raising expectations for a diplomatic breakthrough that could include steps to declare permanent peace. Do you realize that North Korea and South Korea are still at war? The Korean War never ended. It was an armistice. There was no peace agreement. There was no end. There's no formal end to the Korean War. It's still ongoing, technically. Although the beginning of peace between both countries has started already because of Trump's foreign policy. Yeah, and it was Trump's foreign policy. You can't say going into year 3 of Trump's presidency that everything good is Obama's fault and everything bad is Trump's fault. I mean, that's literally what people on the left think. Oh, well, Trump got a great economy. No, he didn't. It's like a 1.55%, 1.6% economic GDP growth. The economy was on the downturn. So you have something that no president thought was possible. Really, nobody thought was possible. Peace between two nations that were constantly in conflict before Trump got into office. And Michael Cohen admits he has no evidence of Russian collusion because he would be implicated. I wouldn't use the word collusion. Knowing how Mr. Trump operates. Oh, how does he operate? Does he take money in from Uranium One and then suddenly remain silent when on the Committee on Foreign Investment? How does he operate? Does he meet with Putin like Bill Clinton did? How does he operate? Does he have a foundation where he takes money from everybody on the planet? UBS, Boeing, weapons deals, 85 donors giving $156 million. How does he operate? Did he have a private server that he transferred illegally top secret intelligence into? How does he operate? I want to know. How on earth does he operate? He operates by defeating Clinton, who spent her entire life, who outspent him 2-1. Outspent him 2-1, ladies and gentlemen, 2-1. Cohen accused Trump of knowing about Roger Stone WikiLeaks scandal. So what? So what? So what? Cohen said he never wanted to work in the White House. Trump family say otherwise. Okay, again, Michael Cohen would not be. Michael Cohen was suing BuzzFeed. Cohen refuses to say he won't profit from a book or movie deal. Can you commit under oath that you have not and will not pursue a book or movie deal based on your experiences? No. Can you commit under oath that you will not pursue upward opportunities to provide commentary for a major news network? No. So the guy committed crimes, and he won't be spending as much time in jail or prison because he sold his soul to the Democratic Party. And he worked for Trump. He defended Trump on numerous appearances on CNN and Fox. I think also MSNBC. He was on cable all the time. He was on Twitter all the time saying, yeah, I never was in Prague, never did this, never did that. Trump didn't do anything. Trump is doing a lot with North and South Korea. They were constantly threatening. Well, North Korea was constantly threatening to destroy South Korea. And now they're not. Now there's a peace deal. I mean, it's so easy to understand. They're actually, okay, South Korean president's doing a lot of the work. Great. And the United States is supposed to facilitate this. And he's doing that. Obama didn't. Bush did not. No other president is doing what Trump is doing. It's like unbelievable. No other president is doing what Trump is doing. He's getting zero credit. He's getting zero credit for it because the media, like 95% of the media, voted for Clinton. They're an extension of the Clinton campaign. They're an extension of the Clinton campaign. And it's like, that's it. That's it. They don't want to talk about anything that has to do with an actual presidency. Meanwhile, Clinton committed crimes. She got away with everything. She's not eventually she'll get indicted because there's just too much. Like, one of these days, and I assume it'll be William Barr, but one of these days, very soon, hopefully, one of these days, very soon, we'll get a DOJ, and I do believe that this is going to take place very soon because they've actually telegraphed all the different investigations they're going to begin. But very soon you will have another Clinton email investigation, which is what Lindsey Graham stated. You'll have investigations into the FBI. You'll have investigations into actual crimes, and they won't be able to say that Clinton didn't intentionally transfer information. And I love this. This is hilarious. Your 2020 choice. Facts or fantasies? Like, this is hilarious. This is unbelievable. Not one mention of bringing home Americans. There's no longer a nuclear threat from North Korea. There's still a threat, but there's not a distinct, direct nuclear threat. They're not going to. This is not the same North Korea. Yes, they still have weapons, but it's not the same. So it's like Trump falsely declared. It's a false statement. False statement. It's like, no, No, they're not the threat they once were. That's an accurate statement. They're so petulant. They never did this with Clinton. If they did, it would be like Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. And if Obama got one for actually starting wars, he should get one for actually ending a long-standing conflict, one of the longest-standing conflicts that we have in the world. Cohen accused Trump of knowing about the Stone WikiLeaks scandal. So what? So people, it's like how does that even that's like nonsensical. You're accusing Trump. That's true, but France isn't a threat. The UK isn't a threat. You can have nuclear weapons and not be a threat. Okay. Israel isn't a threat. Although if you say that to people on the left, like, oh my God, yes, oh my God, Israel's bad, Venezuela's great. I say this just being facetious, but listen, North Korea, what he's doing, what President Trump is doing right now, the historic meeting, the second between Mr. Trump and Mr. Kim in 8 months, unfolded in the shadow of events in Washington, where Michael D. Cohen, the president's former lawyer and fixer, was Cheryl Mills Clinton's fixer? What about Uma Abedin? Is she Clinton's fixer? I love this. How many fixers does Clinton actual fixers does Clinton have? Riveted the American public with a searing day of testimony. Searing, ooh, searing, burn, ooh, yeah. They could intensify the criminal and civil investigations swirling around the president. They're swirling. They have nothing to do with the president, but they're swirling. Oh, they're swirling. It's like a whirlwind of crime. Oh, it's a whirlwind of crime. Oh my God. Remember. That's horrendous, but they have nothing like the media. The media, what they do is they focus only on whatever is good for the Democratic Party. Whatever is good, they'll focus on. And still, Michael Cohen really didn't. They literally didn't. Nothing was. There was nothing shocking. There was no information that was derived. There was nothing. There was no information that was derived from Michael Cohen's testimony. Nothing was learned. What did we learn? Nothing. We still don't have any evidence of Trump Russia. It's been 2 years of nonsense. The Mueller report will finally come out, and it'll be absolute nonsense. They won't have any evidence. They won't indict the president. Therefore, they won't get a lot of information. And then Congress will be like, we want this information. And And instead of actually focusing on a landmark achievement, so let's just read some more. So this is like an article about the Trump Kim summit, and all you hear about is Michael Cohen. It's like, what? Let's look at this. So Trump, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un share smiles, dinner. Trump and Kim might officially end the Korean War. That would be a landmark achievement. Here's why that could matter. Oh, of course, after 66 years of peace declaration, the Vietnam summit could lead to negotiations and normal relations between the two Koreas. Look, if Trump manages to do this, he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. And Moon Jae-in deserves the Nobel Peace Prize of South Korea. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. He deserves the Nobel Peace Prize after 60 or so. President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un might agree at their summit this week in Hanoi, Vietnam, to declare an end to the Korean War. Since this conflict stopped 66 years ago, you have an end to the Korean War officially, then you would have greater diplomatic relationships between all three countries, the U.S., North Korea, and South Korea. And you might even have eventually the reunification of North and South Korea. So what happened between East and West Germany might take place as well, eventually. You have a situation where the left, the Democratic Party, is petrified. They are absolutely petrified. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the monumental achievement? Like a monumental achievement between North and South Korea. Monumental. A monumental achievement. And you would think people on the left wanted, you would think progressives, you would think liberals wanted an end to war. You would think these people wanted peace, especially between two countries that were literally at war, literally every day for 66 years, every single day. In 1953, the Korean War ended in terms of major military engagements, but you still had constant, like every year. So this is USA Today. Trump and Kim Jong-un might officially end the Korean War. Here's why that could matter. That would be absolutely amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. And at what point, the question also is like, what point do Democrats realize that all of this is nonsense when they lose again? Because they'll lose. Clinton will win. The Democratic primary which is hilarious. Not even a primary. It's just a coronation process. Whether she gets indicted before or after. At the end of the day, when you look at Democrats, there's one person that controls the Democratic Party in terms of fundraising. They even had a joint agreement, DNC and joint agreement, Hillary. Okay. Clinton campaign had additionally signed an agreement with the DNC. They own the DNC. In 2015, it's not even a political movement or what they do is they just utilize progressives to just funnel millennial votes back into the Democratic Party. There is no like they have like 5 or 6 core beliefs and that's it. One of which is be against racism except if it's Hillary Clinton, be against misogyny except if it's Keith Ellison. Exactly. I mean, it's just, when you look at, let's see here, Clinton campaign had additionally signed agreement with DNC in 2015. What exactly the Democratic? Okay, the question is roiled. Brazil took over the DNC chair. Once she was at the party's helm, Brazil wrote that she discovered an agreement, quote, that, quote, specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. Okay, yeah, Bernie can really win there. Her campaign had the right of refusal of who would be the party communications director, and he would make final decisions on all other staff. How do you not? My God almighty. Why would anyone think she's not running? Hillary Clinton's secret takeover of the DNC. This is 2017. I mean, it's like, when are people going to finally realize? When are they just going to finally realize that Clinton's running again? She will lose again. It'll be the same thing. We're going to have, like one of my amazing subscribers said, oh, yes, she will make it through the primary and she'll win. And the left completely hates Bernie Sanders, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, I don't respect Bernie for what he did, pumping Trump Russia, but you have people on the left who think that even Bernie's a racist. Everyone's a racist on the left, except Hillary, actually. The same people calling Bernie a racist are okay with Clinton, so it's like, Oh my God, if my article gets published soon, I'm praying, this is going to be one of the greatest articles ever. Please, please, please share it everywhere. Everywhere. Peace between North and South Korea is a monumental achievement. Black conservative, thank you. Yeah. Peace between North and South Korea is a monumental achievement. But we have to focus on Michael Cohen. Trump said bad things. Then why are you with him? Why are you with him? For 10 years. He told me to commit illegal acts. Then why were you with him? Here's a little something that people should remember. If somebody tells you to commit illegal activity, don't hang with that person. If you're with somebody and like a second later they're talking, you know what, about one of a mutual friend, they're going to do that to you. Okay? They're going to do that to you. They're going to talk behind your back. So you want to surround yourself with people who are good people. James, thank you. You want to surround yourself with people who are good people. And in real life, whether you're Black, Jewish, white, Latino, Asian, Christian, Muslim, Baha'i, Samoan, doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter where you're from. People don't live the Twitter life. The Twitter life is just you're minding your own business and suddenly you're like, "What? You're insulting me?" That doesn't happen. Barbados, beautiful. That doesn't happen. Twitter is just like you're minding your own business and someone insults you. Then what do? You're like, should I respond? Oh my God, should I respond? Wasting time. And then of course you respond. 2 hours later, you're wasted time. 2 hours later. 2-3 hours later, and no matter what, it's always then their friends come into it. It's a cyber world. It's a virtual reality that's non-existent. People don't walk around with like a chip on their shoulder. Generally, people don't walk around with anger. You don't go to like, generally, I'm not talking about like, yeah, I had a bad experience at the mall or whatever. I'm talking about generally, it's just, you just live your life. No one calls you comrade. No one calls you Russian tiki torch sympathizer. You know, this is like all like this like neuroses on the left. Twitter on Michael. Let's do Twitter. Let's just look at just look at Twitter. Michael Cohen. Okay, Michael Cohen. Twitter. Trump. What's Trump doing on Twitter? See, it's like, oh, and he just retweeted. Michael Cohen was one of many lawyers who represented me. Unfortunately, unfortunately, he puts unfortunately. I love it. He puts unfortunately. Underground West, hello. Michael Cohen is one of many lawyers who represented me. Unfortunately, he had other clients also. He was just disbarred by the state Supreme Court for lying and fraud. He did bad things unrelated to Trump. Love when people speak in the third person. He's lying in order to reduce his prison time, using Crooked's lawyer. Yeah, using Crooked's. What? Okay, so this guy calls the president an effing B. And then he gets 2,000 likes. And of course, he doesn't get like no Twitter policy is broken there. Meanwhile, some person, blogger, obsessed about me, wrote like 10 hit pieces on a irrelevant blog. Then I tell him to you know what, and then I get suspended for 7 days. I don't need this. I'm out. So I left. Who is this guy? Is okay, a comedian? Never heard of him. So calls Trump an effing you know what. And suddenly it's like No Twitter violation. No Twitter violation at all. Great meeting and dinner with Kim Jong-un in Hanoi, Vietnam tonight. Looking forward to our discussion tomorrow. So it's like we could literally have the end of a war between North and South Korea and be amazing. And then Trump's video looks like two brutal dictators having a great time talking about being nasty villains. Okay. Oh my God, Twitter is just so unhealthy. What a waste of time Twitter is. It is the biggest waste of time in the world. Let's see what they're saying about me. Remember H.A. Goodman? One person says. Thank you, by the way, for the people who still share my stuff on Twitter. I really appreciate it. So I do appreciate that very much. Can we just get the Mueller report and move on with our lives and investigate Clinton? That's what really needs to happen. To tell you the truth. Mueller won the right to keep investigating Trump. He did. This is NBC News. When did he win this? What does that even mean? But he may have lost his part. He may have lost part of his independence in the fight. That's hilarious. Meaning that the Mueller report's done? What? This is so funny. The Mueller report, he doesn't even talk about a crime. It's like that movie, the Tom Cruise movie. It's like pre-crime. There is no crime. Joseph Arbuckle! Dennis Rodman is the man. Dennis Rodman is the man. And he actually did a lot, and he got a lot of heat for it, too. I'm serious about this. I am 100% serious about this. Dennis Rodman, first of all, one of my favorite basketball players. I would say one of the great basketball players of all time. One of the great. I mean, I think, what did he have? Like 28, 29 rebounds, 30 rebounds, something like that one day, one game. What did Dennis Rodman, how many rebounds did Dennis Rodman get? The most rebounds he got. Let's see. It was when he was on the Spurs. Most rebounds. Well, Wilt Chamberlain, 55 rebounds in a game. Wow. Dennis Rodman. "20 rebounds. Wow. This is amazing." Hold on one second. Am I reading this right? In 91-92, he got. Am I reading this right? He got 39 rebounds 20 times. Or no, he got 20 rebounds 39 times. That's amazing. That is amazing. 35. Okay, hold on. 34 rebounds. 34 in 92. Wow, Barkley had 30. Charles Oakley had 35. Charles Barkley had 33. Ronnie Cycli had 34. Wow, I didn't know that. Adam Bomb 31458. Rodman and Paul Silas, two best rebounders of all time. Thank you, Adam Bomb 31458. So I mean, it's like you're going to have possibly peace, the absolute end of the Korean War, which is unbelievably amazing. which is amazing. Oh, who wrote this in the Salon? Hillary Clinton just can't win. Oh, that's right. I did. February 19, 2016. All right, ladies and gentlemen. UFO talk. Hey, sorry. Just the fact you watch is awesome, and I appreciate that. UFO talk. Thank you, as always. Adam on 31458. Thank you, as always. Joseph Arbuckle. Thank you. Thank you, Ramla. So, what did we learn today from Michael Cohen? Pretty much nothing. At this point right now, like they're going to lose in 2020. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. They will lose in 2020. And when that happens, you might get the Democratic Party to actually completely move away from its current insanity. Maybe. You might get that. We don't know. Steyer says Mueller report only needs supporting evidence. Yeah, any evidence at all. That's the thing. They are talking about the whole point of all of this. The whole point of all of this is that the DNC emails were supposed to show that Bernie Sanders was cheated and the DNC primary was rigged and that voters were lied to. But then, in the same breath, they'll say Bernie Sanders was given every chance to win. So which one is it? UFO talk. HAO are making a decision on 2020. I will beat AOC and the green bad deal. UFO talk. Yes. I mean, what's taking place right now with AOC, it's like the more that she like continually it's interesting. The more that my Federalist article below, how the Green New Deal negatively impacts indigenous communities throughout the world because of the mining of cobalt and lithium and nickel. 68% want Mueller report made public. Who cares? DOJ doesn't have to release any information on people that aren't indicted. And that's Trump. Ocasio-Cortez in a new comic book. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wasn't AOC supposed to either sponsor or introduce a Medicare for all bill? And they're talking about universal basic income, and it's like, that is the dumbest. When has that ever happened? Or you're talking about something that is not only is not feasible, but would tank the economy in a heartbeat. And it's not feasible, thank goodness. Because you'd have people just Bill Gates, government shouldn't just write checks to everyone. Even Medicare for all, when Andrew Gillum was like, oh yeah, well, it wouldn't work in Florida, but it would only work if surrounding states. Wouldn't work in Florida, but the states surrounding Florida, like neighboring states, that would be the only way it would work. It's like, what? If it doesn't even work on the state level, how are you going to do that? How are you going to ensure it works for 320 million people? And then there's a Mercatus study. And wouldn't that increase inflation exponentially? So it's like these are like fantastic moral theories, so amazing. Oh my god, experiments. Okay, the province of Manitoba, Canada, experimented in the 70s. Well, does it still have it? These are fantastic experiments. Why aren't they still going on? Like, when has this ever worked? Whatever. They need to bring that up because already the Green New Deal and Medicare for All is something like $90 trillion, something like that. UFO talk. My biggest weakness in the election will be supporting the support of the Trump tax bill. Well, it doesn't have to be a weakness. Just own whatever you believe in. The best thing that happened to me is that when I became a Trump supporter officially, I was like, then suddenly, like, it's like the left couldn't touch me because, like, what are they going to say? Peace between North and South Korea is a bad thing? No, it's a great thing. Prison reform is a bad thing? No. Freedom Autopsy Report. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much to my super chat, UFO Talk. Thank you. Everyone, thank you so very much. I'll be back in several hours. And ladies and gentlemen, should be back like around 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, around there. So check this channel at that time. Thank you, everyone. Share this segment. If you're still on social media, check out my latest Second Amendment channel segment, 357 Magnum. Hit HA Second Amendment and definitely share my articles below. Thank you, everyone. See you very soon.